All right. Well, thank you guys for coming out on Sunday. I know you guys are heading out of here probably on Monday. And we had talked about, you asked about us making a decision with Jay prior to the bowl game, which we said we would do. Today's that day. I think we obviously know what his situation is. There's a lot of speculation about what he's going to do. And Jay's had a great year, helped us get into the position that we're in right now. Excited about the bowl game and the opportunity to play in that game, and has been working extremely hard to help us prepare as we plan and get ready to head down there and go play. So, but today is not about that as much. We've answered those questions. Today is about Jay, and I'm going to turn it over to him. And you guys, he's going to make a statement here. And then any questions you guys have for him, Coach Riddle or myself, once he's done, we can answer those questions. So, with that, Jay, go ahead.
Thanks, Coach. Before I begin, I have a lot of important people to thank for helping me get to this point to be able to make this kind of decision. First off, I would like to thank God for continually blessing me and allowing me to be able to play this game that I love so much. Without him, none of this is possible. I want to thank Dr. Custer, our school president, for having so much faith in our football team and continuing to fight for our respect every day. Mark Coyle, our athletic director, who works tirelessly to keep Boise State in the national spotlight and puts the work in to benefit our best interests. I would like to thank the previous coaching staff that recruited me, specifically Coach Peterson, Coach Pease, and Coach Bonifa. These three men took a chance on me and gave me the opportunity of a lifetime to continue to play football at the next level. I thank Coach Pete for not giving up on me even though I made a mistake as a freshman and giving me a chance to prove I was worthy to be a Boise State Bronco. Coach B, who I still speak to all the time, helped me improve not only as a player but as a man as well, and I'll always be grateful. I would like to thank this current coaching staff for not only coming in and taking the time to really get to know me and my teammates, but also helping to create relationships with us that will last a lifetime. Coach Harsin, Coach Ridd, over this past year, you have helped me and motivated me to take my game to a whole nother level. You have challenged me to become more of a leader and brought a whole new mentality to our team that allowed us to accomplish our goal of bringing the first outright Mountain West Championship to Boise State. The team and I were truly blessed to inherit the coaching staff that we have, and I truly believe that we have the best and most unified coaching staff in the nation. Thank you to our strength staff, Coach Pitt, Coach Marks, and Coach Pringle. You guys helped me to be able to handle the workload this year, and I appreciate the hard work you put into me and the team. I would like to thank our training staff, Mark, Kat, Paul, Seth, the student trainers, and specifically Spooner. Without y'all, it would have been impossible to have accomplished what I've done so far in my career here. I thank Dale and his staff for always being ready to help with any equipment needs. Dale is pretty awesome. My family, my backbone. It's because of you that I continue to strive to be the best I can be. My mom and dad, I love you two so very much, and without your support, I don't know if I could have made it this far. My little brothers and sisters, I love you all very much, and every time I step on the field, I play with all my heart for you. My teammates, I love you all. You guys are my brothers. We have accomplished so much. This season has been one of the greatest of my life, and I'll always cherish the moments that I've had with you. We strive to be kings of the Mountain West, and we achieved our goal. Football brought us together, but the relationships we were able to build will last a lifetime. Last but absolutely not least, I thank all of Bronco Nation and the great fans at Boise State. I've said it multiple times before, but I truly believe this is a special place. There is no other place I would have rather played my collegiate career at. The fans have been beyond amazing, and I appreciate the love and support that you not only have shown me, but for our football team as well each year. Now it is with full excitement to let everyone in all of Bronco Nation know that my decision is that I will be foregoing my final year of eligibility. I am entering the 2015 NFL Draft. After consulting with God, my family, and coaches, and taking into account of what I've been able to accomplish this year in my collegiate career. I truly believe after playing in the Fiesta Bowl on December 31st and hopefully winning, that I will have accomplished everything that I had set my mind to do when I had stepped foot at Boise State, besides obtaining my degree, which I have promised my family to make sure that I complete in the future. Playing in the NFL has been my dream ever since I started playing football. So being this close to making that possible is just an opportunity too great to pass up. My family and I are truly excited for what the future holds, and Bronco Nation and Boise State will always have a special place in my heart. Thank you, and go Broncos. And now I'm going to open it up for any questions.
Jay, did you get the report back from the NFL, and if so, what did it say?
I have not gotten the report back, but I've had a lot of consultation with a lot of people, and I kind of have a generic feel of where I could possibly go in the NFL draft.
What did you need to hear to make you feel like this was the right time to do it, that you wouldn't be making a mistake by leaving early?
Really, it was just after consulting with Coach Riddle and Coach Harsin, just looking back at what I've been able to do this year, for us to be able to win this Mountain West Conference Championship and bring it back to Boise State, and for me to have the season that I had, it was just an amazing opportunity looking back at it and seeing where I am now, and just seeing how kind of the running backs also in the NFL, where their value is, and seeing where my value is right now. I didn't feel like it could have been any higher after the season.
We've seen for running backs, the career length is not really long. How much of a factor is that take that year of pounding at that level, getting paid for it, versus one more year here, taking that pounding?
Definitely. I mean, that was also a factor going into just deciding what my decision was just the workload, because like you said, running backs, the shelf lives are a little bit less than other positions. And so that was definitely a factor looking into what my decision was going to be.
I know you said you hadn't been thinking about this much during the season, but honestly, how much had you been thinking about this, and when did this really be something you figured was probably going to happen?
Well, at the beginning of the year, like I said, I was really just focused on just playing a great season. I didn't really know what would happen at that time. Kind of as the season progressed and I started to get a little bit of phone calls from different people, I started to just get a little feel that, hey, maybe this is a decision that I possibly could make at the end of the season. And then after winning the conference championship game and looking back at what I've been able to accomplish this year, it was kind of just a really good time to just sit down with my family and just really make a decision on what will be my next step in this process.
At the end of the Fiesta Bowl, you have any idea what agency you're going to go with and where you're going to work out that person for the draft?
So basically with my family, and we've been discussing it, and I should have my agents selected prior to the Fiesta Bowl. And so after the Fiesta Bowl, I'll sign with them, and then we should know with the agent where I'm going to train, and then it'll be just setting it up after that.
When did you actually make the decision? When was the final, this is going to happen?
Well, when did I make the decision? It would probably have been last week. Sitting down with my family, and then after speaking with Coach Harsin and Coach Riddle, and just looking back at it and talking to God, and after that, it was a specific day. I believe it was Saturday, I think so. And after that day, I knew for sure that we were going to do it, and I was going to make the decision to declare.
Saturday as in yesterday, or Saturday as in 8 days ago?
Last week. So.
Okay. What was your process? Did your parents come up here? Did you talk to them on the phone? What was the decision-making process for you?
Well, I had been in constant contact with my family once the conference championship kind of came, and we were getting to the point where we needed to figure out, what was our plan going forward. And so my mom was able to come to a lot of the games, and we were able to sit down and talk as well a lot when she would come up. And just being able to speak with my dad as well and my mom together, and we just constantly, talked each day, and they would just ask, how am I feeling? What do you think is going to be best? And we just talk to each other, and we really were able to come to a consensual decision between all of us at the end of the process.
What is your academic status, and what's your major, and what's your plan to finish that?
So I'm a marketing major. I will supposedly, if I would have stayed, been graduating in May. I have maybe 5 classes left, or 4 to 5 classes left. And so in the future, I believe Boise State has a good thing where you can come back after you leave and you can still get your college and school paid for to finish. And so I told my mom that I'll definitely get my degree when the time permits it. And so, that will be something later on down the line that I'll make sure that I accomplish.
DeMarcus left early. Obviously, Ryan Clady left early. Worked out well for them. Did you talk to either of those guys or get any sort of input from guys like that?
Yeah, I talk to Tank all the time. He's a really good resource just because, he went through this last year. And he was able to have success with it. And so another person that I've talked to, even though they didn't leave early, was just Charles Leno and Jamar Taylor. Those 2 guys were kind of like my role models when I was playing here, and they're my big brothers, and they were able to just give me a lot of great advice just coming in up to this process, and they were just really just great resources for me.
What was the most important thing you heard from one of those guys?
They just told me to make sure that, I sat down and just really made sure that I made the right decision for myself and for my family. And that also they were really also helpful in the agent process as well, just telling me what to look for and just telling me just kind of things and the questions that I should be asking.
For either of you guys, I guess, how involved were the coaches involved in this decision, and did it seem like pretty much a no-brainer to you guys, or how'd you kind of work through this?
Well, yeah, there was no question, and obviously through our contacts with NFL guys, we knew he's going to get a decent draft grade when all that comes back, and he's done everything we've asked him to this year, and helped us reach our goals as a team. So it really did seem like the only right answer to give him was to tell him that, hey, that it is the best thing for you.
Harsh, you've been through this with Clady, with Scandrick, with Childs. What was your take on this, and in general, what is your view of a guy in this situation, deciding whether to leave early?
Yeah, all those guys were different that you just mentioned. Ryan's, for example, we knew he'd be a first-round guy. That was easy. There really wasn't a conversation. And here's the thing in football. Any of us that's played the game and love the game want to have an opportunity to play at the next level and to do it as a career. And not everybody gets that opportunity. Jay's a guy that's got the ability to do that. He's proven that. Where he goes, I don't know, but there's no doubt in my mind, as an NFL running back, he's going to be successful. And he's got so many other tools, in my opinion, that he brings, and hopefully, I think he brings a knowledge of the game that coaches are going to appreciate when he steps on their practice field and he goes out there and gets going. He's going to understand those things. But I think this. I think, and what I told Jay, I think he's had a wonderful year. I think he's done a lot of great things for us. He's made us better. We've helped him improve. We've accomplished goals up to this point that we want to. We both want to finish in the Fiesta Bowl, hopefully winning, like he mentioned. But this is the right time, and this is the time for him. He has carried the ball and done a lot of things this season, and where we are right now and the group of guys around him, it's the right time. And so I think when he came in my office, he might have thought differently. And we sat down and was like, no, this is the right thing for you to do. And he's got a plan to get his degree, which is why he came here, and we'll make sure that we find a way to help him do that once time permits. But this is a goal and a dream of a lot of guys that play this game. When you're a little guy growing up, you want to have a chance, and here we are. And he's put himself on a stage this season to earn that opportunity, and people are interested in him and want him to be a part of their organization. Then you know what? Hey, this is part of his future, and whatever it is. In these guys' future when they leave, we want it to be better, than it is here. And this is an opportunity for him to go on and further himself and be better. And that's the whole point of going to school and being part of this program is you leave and you get opportunities, and this happens to be football, and what a great opportunity for him.
You mentioned the press conference last week. You wanted to make it public, before. Yep. Just, I guess, talk through that decision, and then also, Jay, how does it feel to have it out there now before this last game?
Yeah, well, when we talked about it, because, when we get down there, and obviously there's going to be questions about it, and that needs to be a platform for him to discuss our team and his future, bottom line. So no reason to hem-haw through it and, hey, I don't know what I'm going to do when you know what you're going to do. That's the bottom line. And you know what, going into this game, you know, this stage is magnified. It's going to be the biggest stage we played on all year. It's going to be an opportunity for him throughout the week to discuss our future going into this game as a program and his future personally going into the NFL. And, you know, that's something that we're proud of. I mean, here's a guy that's done a lot for us, and feel like this is the right thing to do for him personally, is to take advantage of that opportunity that we're in right now. And then, you know, when it's time to play, he'll go out and perform, and when that's done, hopefully, you know, everything goes well, and then he's on to, you know, the next level and what he's doing at that point.
Jay, how's it feel? You've been leaning this way. You finally made the decision public. How does it feel just to let everybody know and to know yourself what's ahead for you?
It's a relief for sure. Just because, you know, you definitely have people that ask, well, you know, what is your decision? And I could have, you know, make that known at the time. And so now it being out in the open, I can just be clear with people that, yeah, this is my dream. I'm chasing it, and I have the opportunity to do that. And so it's really exciting. And like Coach Hart said, you know, when we sat down, we really did discuss, you know, when was the correct time to come out with this decision. And, you know, we decided to do it before just because of the opportunity to use the stage as a platform. And it'll also just be able to have that out of the way so I can really just focus on our goal, and that's to win this game. I mean, it's part of our goal from the beginning of the season was to win the conference and to win a bowl game. And what better bowl game, you know, and what better stage than the Fiesta Bowl to do it.
So what are the rules with the agents? I mean, can your parents can talk to them, but can you, or can you, I know you can't sign till after the game, but how do you make sure you keep your eligibility here for this game?
So I can meet with agents. I can be in contact with agents. My family was in contact with agents. The only thing you cannot do is accept anything from the agents. And we made sure, and I made sure to let that be known with my mom and dad as well, that, you know, that was something that we can't do, and that we have begun the agent process, and we're almost at the end of that process.
Were you guys in contact with him about that whole process and stuff too, to make sure that
Yeah, the rules and all that. You know, we have rules, and you know, our guys have gone through this before, and you know how they go about it. You know, he's doing it the right way. His family's doing it the right way. And no, as far as, you know, who we think, you know, they should go with and all that, no. I mean, that's his decision.
No, I meant just the rules in general,
Yeah.
to make sure he understood what they were.
Yeah, so yeah, our compliance department, they do a great job. We discuss this at the beginning of every year as well. So these guys, I mean, if you've been here, you know, 4 or 5 years, you've heard it every single year, what you can and can't do. And the guys that have chances to be with agents, you know, they're going to know those rules and what they can do.
Jay, so you'll get that decision done before you go to Phoenix, so that you're not dealing with it while you're down there. From the agent thing.
So yeah, by the I believe the 26th, I should have my decision.
What when you made this decision, was there anything in the back of your head holding you back? Anything about a senior year of college that was like, do I want to give this up? Was there anything there?
I would say maybe before the conference championship, you know, I kind of had the thing where, I don't know, you know, but after we won that game, I think it was a no-brainer, and I credit that not only to, you know, what I was able to do this season, but to my team as well. I mean, for us to be able to do what we set out to do from the beginning, that was such a helpful thing for my decision, because, you know, I wanted to be a part of something special and to be able to leave my legacy here. That was one of my biggest things when I was coming to Boise State. I wanted to be able to leave a legacy, and for us to be able to do what we were able to do this year and have this opportunity in the Fiesta Bowl, I mean, it really helped out my decision to be able to go to the NFL draft.
Have you told your teammates, or when did you tell them, and what was the reaction from those guys?
Yeah, so Coach Harsin let me tell them today, right after practice, and the reaction was awesome. I mean, those guys are my brothers, and you know, a lot of them kind of knew, you know, it might be coming. Some of them maybe didn't, but you know, it was an overwhelming experience, to say the least. You know, just because, you know, those are my brothers, and I love those guys a lot, and you know, I'm gonna miss those guys.
Was that out at practice today? Was that at practice you told them?
Yes,
or
right as soon as
the
practice
huddle
was
at the end of
over.
practice? Or?
Yeah, coach let me have this.
I could brag on. Well, he did a great job, and those guys that are living under a rock, they were surprised. All right?
Freshman.
But, you know, and that, yeah, exactly. What's going on? But he did a great job, and, wanted to tell the team first, and I'm sure most guys assumed, and guys know, they talk and all that, but that way they knew what his decision was and what he's doing, and those guys are supportive, and that's a neat thing for them too. I mean, there's guys sitting there that, want to be in that position someday. What an awesome opportunity. I mean, we're very proud of Jay. We're very proud of the guys that represent us in the NFL. We know he'll do that, and that's a good thing for us. And so those guys, everybody was excited. Jay did a great job. It's emotional, when you leave or say you're going to, you kind of know that this is, as we get closer to this game, this will be the final game, and, and it's not an easy thing. But he handled it very well, and the team understands, and, once we have this, once we're done with this here, I mean, we're back to business, and, Jay will discuss some of those questions moving forward, and we can do it openly, but we'll refocus back on what we have to do to try to win this football game.
Does this help you in recruiting, having players declare early?
I don't think it hurts. I don't know how that, I think when people, let me say this, yes, most likely. I think those guys, those high school players right now that are trying to decide what university they want to go to, and they've got that, on their wall of this is what I want to be. I want to play in the NFL. That's my favorite player, whoever. That's what I want to do. And they get a chance to see a guy like Jay that's declaring for the draft and find out where he's going to go, and that he has the opportunity from Boise State to do that. That does play a factor, because those are goals and dreams of a lot of players. So it definitely doesn't hurt. And, and it shows there's opportunities that if you play well and you play enough and you're that type of player, then, you can leave early. And we've had that. You mentioned them, some of those guys that did leave early for us that have gone on and been successful in the NFL.
But Ken, we asked you, I guess, at one point during the season, you said your main thing was just to stay out of his way in terms of trying to help him. But how did you see this season, him handle kind of the hype? And I think a lot of fans knew that this was a possibility. And how'd you kind of see him handle everything this year and really focus and get better as a player?
Well, I think he does a great job of just understanding what the process is, and going back to scratch every week and starting and going through the process. I mean, Jay's going to make a great professional because he knows how to be professional already. He sits in the meetings, studies film, takes notes. He's got his highlighter out, doing stuff, all the time. So I think he just really appreciated the process of getting ready each week and understanding that at the end of it, there would be a chance to sit down and figure things out. And, like I said, I think there's nothing Jay could do a year from now that's going to make his draft grade any higher. And honestly, probably coming back and doing exactly what he did this year, it'd probably go down because he's only got so much time left. But he's done a great job handling all this stuff and just putting it outside and not dealing with it and focusing on the task at hand, I think was the best way he did it.
Jay, what is?
Where's your draft party gonna be? Are we invited?
We'll decide, but they'll probably be back home in Texas for sure, where most of my family is. But you're invited.
When you were growing up, what were some of your favorite NFL teams?
Growing up in Texas, I'm definitely a Cowboys fan. I mean, you get to watch Michael Irving and Emmitt Smith and Aikman, and just see those guys. And I had the privilege of actually playing in the Cowboys Stadium in Irving and the Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. So that was pretty cool, just growing up. But I just love the game of football. I mean, it's awesome just growing up, for being in England and being able to transition to America and learning the game of football and learning to find a love for the game of football, and just watching NFL every weekend and seeing my mom and dad, who never knew football before, having their own favorite teams and everything. I mean, we love the game, and it's exciting to have this opportunity of having that dream of watching these guys to actually be one of those people.
Yeah, what does that feel like, Jay? I mean, maybe this is a better question for after you get drafted, but you think about where you came from, when you come through a lot, even before you got to Boise State, after you got here, to be up here at this table making this announcement, and just to look back at, from when you started playing football to where you are now and everything you've gone through. What does this moment feel like for you?
It's a blessing. I mean, just, not a lot of people get this opportunity. And so to be able to really have this opportunity to chase my dream, is just the best feeling in the world, and all the hard work and, you know, the adversity and the challenges that I've gone through, you know, makes it all worth it at this point. And, you know, the job is not over after this. You know, you still have to put the work in. You know, in the Fiesta Bowl, that will be the last game, and I have to make sure we go out right with the win. And then after that, you know, there's still even more work until the draft process. So, you know, the dream is it's just getting started. I would say that.
What's the conversation like when you pull him inside your office? Because obviously you're balanced between making the best decision for a young man and balanced for your own personal decisions as a curator of a football team that relied heavily on this guy this year.
Yeah, it was easy. You know, it's about our guys. You know, we have players here. We will have new players come in here, but these opportunities like this, and even, you know, we're talking professional football. I mean, professional decisions in life as well. You know, career opportunities. I mean, that's simple. That's part of, you know, not part of. I mean, this is the main reason why we do what we do. Hopefully we can help these guys through football learn a lot of life skills that can help them be successful. And so when a guy comes in and says, this is my dream, this is what I want to do, this is a goal of mine, what do you think? And he has a true opportunity to do it, that's a no-brainer. This is what you need to do. And at that point, it wasn't even a conversation. It was, Jay, okay, this is what you're going to do. All right, how are we going to go about it? You know, agents, things like that. I mean, the process of what he's going to do, what we need to do to help our football team. All right, we did talk about that. Hey, what's the best thing for our team leading into this game and playing in this game? Well, it was to let everyone know that, hey, Jay, this is what you're doing. All right, there's no distractions with that. This is what the plan is. Like we have around here. Jay's going to go to the NFL. All right, we're going to get back to practice. We're going to carry that into the game. Once the game's over, like I told the team, including Jay, and we've got 11 other seniors that are going to be gone as well. We'll be a completely different football team once this game's over. And then we got to figure out who we are after that. And we have clear up until the end of August to do that. So this is just part of it. But, you know, for these guys, I mean, they all have different goals and dreams. And when we have a chance to help them achieve that, and this being Jay's, that's an easy decision.
Jay, what is your expectation in terms of the draft? And was there something were you thinking I need to be a top 4 rounds guy or something like anything like that to make this worth it, or any of that in your mind?
I wouldn't say necessarily there was something I needed to see for me to just say, you know, no, I'm definitely going to enter the draft now because I've seen that. I think it was a conclusion of, you know, the success that we had this year, and then and some feedback from some agents who have been able to talk to scouts and tell me where I possibly could go. I think all of that together culminated, along with the feedback from my coaches and my family, culminated in the decision to be able to.
What was
play.
the feedback generally in terms of where you might go?
So they were saying second to third for sure, and so if I have a good combine and work hard, you know, I could be right in there in the mix, you know, with a lot of the other good backs.
You mentioned at the beginning that, you know, there was a chance your freshman year you weren't even going to be here to have your first snap as a Bronco. And when you think back now, you know, sort of where you've come and maturity, and, you know, what do you take from that, and what can you maybe pass to some of these other guys that come through this program about, you know, what you learned there?
You know, just the fact that, you know, it is a privilege to play here. I mean, Boise State University is a special place. This team is a special team, and it really takes a certain kind of someone, you know, to make it through this program. You know, I did make that mistake my freshman year, and I had the opportunity to really earn the trust and respect back of my teammates. And, you know, what I always tell the young guys is, you know, just don't blow this opportunity. I mean, it's a great just place to play football. I mean, we're a great team. We have great coaches, and, you know, if this is your dream to play college football, don't waste it. And so that's something I've even taken to myself, you know, with the next level, is just make sure I take advantage of the opportunity.
Rid, you know, it seems like there's been sort of a unspoken thing around here talking about running backs in the future, that he wasn't going to be here. But, you know, where are you guys at in terms of being prepared for next year without Jay? And, you know, obviously he's taken 90% of those carries this year.
Well, we've still got a good crew coming back, and you know, I think you've seen most of those guys at times during the year. Obviously, Jeremy McNichols probably carried the ball more than any of the others, and he's just a freshman. We've got some other, Corey Young, we're redshirting, and then we'll sign a guy or two in this class that we think should be able to help. But all those guys are going to have to step up, and that wouldn't be any different if Jay was coming back. We expect everybody to get better over the offseason, and at the end of the day, we're going to show up and play, and we're always going to be a team that can run the football, and those guys are going to have a huge part in it.
I'm sure we'll see this on a Bronco All Access at some point. But when you announced it to the team, did they all like jump up and down and cheer? What was kind of that moment like when you said it?
I would say this. It was emotional at first, and then you got guys like Dante and Chaz that, make me laugh. So it was good just to be able to just share it with them, because it was a special moment, not only for myself, but just for my team, just to be able to be at this point and have this opportunity. It was just really great to be able to share with my brothers.
And just to clarify, when you guys had your meeting, there was no conversation about what to decide. It was just, all right, we know what's going to happen. Here's how we're going to handle it. Yeah.
So Jay texted me the day before and said, "Coach, can I come by and see you tomorrow?" And I responded, "No."
I did. I didn't know what to do.
And I didn't send it back. I let him sit there for about a minute, and then I sent back, "Just kidding. Come by and see me tomorrow." And what I appreciate about him is, it wasn't something, game 8 that we're talking about. We needed to finish what we started. And this conversation now, everything that everyone's been thinking has gone through our minds, but we never sat down until it was done, until we've accomplished at least part of our goal, and that was to win our conference. Then once that was done, we had a chance to sit down and have the conversation. So I appreciate that about Jay. That wasn't at any point, during the season, a distraction or something I had to deal with, which, quite frankly, that's huge. To be able to focus on the rest of what we're doing as a team. And when we did have it, it was a good conversation, but it wasn't really even a conversation about what he should do. This is what he should do. And to go back to your question, this really has been a different type of year for us. Since I've been here, and during the time I was here with our running backs, we had 2-3 guys always playing, and that just says a lot about Jay when you have one guy that does all those things. And Doug's a very good back. We've had some really good ones, but we've always utilized, 2-3 backs and mostly 2. And here we've got, one guy that can do, all those things. And, knew Jay could run it. And, he really showed a lot in his receiving skills this year. If you go back and look at it, from a production from, catching the football. And then, there's always a guy on your team you have to have as like the pass protector. And then here's Jay, and he does that as good as any back I've ever been around. And that's probably the one thing, too, is as he moves on is, you can be in the backfield there and protect that quarterback, and you need to know what you're doing, and he does. And he's done a really good job of that this year. So, we'll figure it out. We'll have a group of guys that go back to, and maybe one of those guys emerges. I don't know. But, what he's done this season and as many touches as he's had in production, that's a big reason, too, in my opinion, why, this is an easy decision.
What was your thought when you got the text back that said no?
I didn't know what to do. I was like, hopefully he's just, I hope, I kind of knew he was kidding, but, you never know.
So one last game in the blue and orange. What's this last game mean to you, and what do you think that emotion's going to be like, knowing this is your last chance to do anything in a Bronco uniform?
I'm definitely going to cherish the moments leading up to the game, cherish the time with these coaches and this team, because like Coach Hart said, this is the last time that this team will be together. There will be a change after this season, and so what better way, like I said, to end the year and to end my collegiate career is like in the Fiesta Bowl. And we've had great success there, and we're playing a great opponent in Arizona, and we've really been working hard in these practices to make sure that when we step out on that field, we will be ready to go. And so, there'll probably be a little bit of emotion just because I am an emotional guy. But, it'll be just a great time on that field, enjoying the atmosphere, and just, enjoying one of the biggest games the season.